So, with the remarks today by President Biden and by Vice President Harris, as well as the remarks yesterday by Attorney General Merrick Garland, and the work being done by the federal prosecutors investigating the insurrection and the House Select Committee investigating the same, things are aligning on the justice front. Let's talk about that. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So President Biden addressed the nation today on the one-year anniversary of the deadly attack on our democracy. Let's take just a few minutes to talk about what President Biden said, as well as what Vice President Harris said, and what Attorney General Merrick Garland said yesterday, and what the Department of Justice and the House Select Committee are doing to investigate the insurrection. But if you'll first indulge me just 30 seconds of housekeeping. As you may know, what we do here at Justice Matters, creating and posting a video every day, 7 days a week, is an all-volunteer effort made possible by you. So if you would like to support our mission and our content, please feel free to go over to patreon.com. You can sign up to become a patron. If you do, I will send you some Team Justice and Justice Matters stickers and a personal handwritten note of thanks. And finally, my heartfelt thanks to all of you who do support us on Patreon. It is thanks to your generosity that we get to do what we do every day. So earlier today, Vice President Harris made some opening remarks, and then President Biden addressed the nation. But I want to start with some of what Vice President Harris said, because she started by listing 3 dates of national significance: December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021. And she didn't have to tell us what those 3 dates referred to. We knew. December 7th, 1941, the attack at Pearl Harbor, an attack from without launched by a foreign enemy. September 11th, 2001, the attack on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, an attack launched from without by a foreign enemy. And January 6th, 2021, an attack from within, launched by a defeated president who decided he would try to cling to power unlawfully and unconstitutionally. I'm glad Vice President Harris grouped those 3 dates together, all dates that will live in infamy for sure. But friends, one of those things is not like the others. Let's turn to some of what President Biden said about what Donald Trump did and what he didn't do. As the violence was unfolding at the Capitol, President Biden said, quote, "We see a former president who had just rallied a mob to attack, sitting in a private dining room off the Oval Office in the White House, watching it all on television and doing nothing for hours as police were assaulted, lives at risk, the nation's capital under siege." And then President Biden spoke directly about Donald Trump's lies. Quote, "Here's the truth. A former president of the United States of America has created and spread a web of lies. He's done so because he values power over principle, because he sees his own interests as more important than the country's interests, than America's interests, and because his bruised ego matters more to him than our democracy or our Constitution." And then President Biden said this, Quote, "This was an armed insurrection." This was an armed insurrection. An armed insurrection. You know, we actually have a federal law to deal with that. And speaking of the law, let me just circle back briefly to some of what Attorney General Merrick Garland said yesterday in his address. And I'm going to paraphrase, but he said, "We will hold all of the January 6 perpetrators accountable at any level. Small fish, medium fish, big fish." I added the fish part. Merrick Garland also said, "We will hold January 6 perpetrators accountable whether they were at the Capitol that day or not." War counsel at the Willard, Steve Bannon, Rudy Giuliani, folks in the Oval Office or in the dining room next to the Oval Office watching it on TV, Donald. And then Merrick Garland said, "We have learned from the lessons of Watergate that there must be but one set of rules for the powerless and the powerful." So friends, just those three things taken together. At any level, whether at the Capitol or not, one set of rules for the powerless and the powerful. You know, there really wasn't much more Merrick Garland could have said or should have said. He sent the signal loud and clear that the federal prosecutors are working their way up the criminal food chain. And let's finish with this, friends. The House Select Committee investigating the insurrection is certainly working its way up the investigative ladder. January 6 Committee Chairman Benny Thompson wants to speak directly with Mike Pence. In fact, the Vice Chair of the committee, Representative Liz Cheney, says that the January 6 Committee looks forward to cooperation from Mike Pence and his team. I'm going to go out on a limb here and predict that Mike Pence will testify. One way or another, push comes to shove, Mike Pence will testify. And friends, there is synergy. There is alignment. Vice President Harris, President Biden, Attorney General Merrick Garland, the Department of Justice, the House Select Committee, the courts, which we haven't even talked about, the judges have been forward-leaning, saying things like the insurrectionists being prosecuted are pawns to Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who kind of fancies himself a king, so of course he would want pawns. But, you know, on the chessboard of life, Donald Trump ain't nothing but a rook. But there is synergy. There is alignment. And I'm going to say it because I don't know that I've said it in a while. But justice is coming. And justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.